Hello, good evening, and welcome to checking through audio conditions at the start of the stream.
I was just
Usually got them wrong.
panicked looking at the audio, checking that it was working. Hang on, I don't think. There we go. It should be working. We should be good. I just heard us. I think I've set this up now so that if I do start another audio, it won't just get broadcast over and over and over and over again, and we're safe. So yeah, hi, we're good.
Well, no one's complaining about it, so let's move on.
Solid.
Welcome to Learning Netrunner with Team Squared and System... No, we've done System Update 21. We're on the Ashes cycle. I'm Mark, aka MCG, and I'm thoroughly unprepared for tonight's show. So who are these other people, and what are they unprepared for?
Absolutely flawless. My name's Dave, and I'm unprepared for the singularity. I'm scared of AI, and when it eventually does happen, I will not be ready in any way.
Hi, I'm Sharon, and I would like to say I'm a prepper at heart, but the reality is I'm unprepared for any type of realistic disaster situation we could find ourselves in. Not prepared for a flood, not prepared for a tornado, not prepared for extreme heat or extreme cold. Not prepared for how spicy my dinner is. It's crazy.
Your phrasing was, though, you're not prepared for any realistic disaster. Are you prepared for unrealistic disasters?
In my head, yes.
Such as 9 extra cards in your deck,
Such as
smoothing issues.
Such as 9 extra cards in the deck.
Those are the real disasters.
They are. Cool.
So, yes, as I fumbled my way through the intro, we have now progressed into the Ashes cycle. We're on the home stretch of cards that are legal in the startup format, even though it's a very long home stretch because there are a lot of cards in the Ashes cycle. How have your deck building deliberations been going this week?
Okay, right. So, I built my 2 decks at the start and end of the week, and in between, I've clearly forgotten how to function as a deck builder, because I'm pretty confident that my Corp deck is A-OK. However, my runner deck, I'm just not sure. We were Hasbioroid for Corpse this week, weren't we? With the new cards, and you did say pick a shaper for the runner, right? I'm not imagining that.
I did say that about 3 weeks ago. I didn't specify that for your homework this week. But,
because I also thought the same thing.
Okay. Well, I happened to pick a shaper, but yeah.
That's fine. That's within remit.
This will be but I don't think I've put enough shaper shenanigans in. So we'll see. I think this might be the most vanilla shaper deck you've ever seen. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, when you say you built one at the start of the week and one at the end of the week, did you mean that you built your Corp deck after the stream and then the runner just before today?
Basically, I was so excited about the Corp cards being broken AF that I immediately chucked everything I wanted to see in a Corp deck into that deck from that selection of cards. Except I didn't. There's another deck I'm certain I want to make with those cards that I kind of think I've missed out on, but I get to make that later, which is cool. And then as far as the runner goes, I made her last night, and I'm still not convinced I was fully in.
After 4 or 5 days of not thinking about Netrunner at all, not remembering how the cards work,
A little bit.
not even sure what's going on, and then we put them together.
Because we didn't introduce any new Netrunner cards, I think there was nothing that I was like, oh, new stuff to play with, and so as a result, I was kind of trying to remember everything from the previous sets, and so I think because I don't have particular favourites yet, like go-to cards, I think I might have just sort of chucked together a pretty vanilla deck full of just. I mean, you could almost have predicted it from the suggestions box on Netrunner DB. It was yeah.
So
It was...
when you say you could have, did you?
No, I didn't. But that was because when I started building the deck, I had the wrong sets selected, and I was like, "Oh my god, what are these cards? What is this? Can I put this in?" And yeah, swiftly realised that I was staring at things that weren't an option, and so yeah, had to chuck in what I recognised. So yeah, this my runner deck might be disappointing this week, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Hi Sharon. CMS has just typed in chat. Hopefully Sharon's Corp deck is as spicy as her dinner.
I hope so. I really hope so, because I put a lot of effort into the Corp deck this week. I built a deck. I've played with it a few times. I've tweaked it, and it has been playing against any cards in the Ashes cycle. So yeah, but that was also at the beginning of the week and maybe up till Sunday. And now I'm desperately trying to remember all the sort of tactics and plays I developed. And because I felt very proud of the Shaper deck that I built with one of the Shaper cards in a previous version, I'm going to play it again. I'm confident. I know it didn't win last time, but I'm confident.
That's quite coy of you.
Yes, Dave.
It's a shame we've not covered the criminal cards yet, because the criminal card in the Ashes cycle that's called Bravado, which would be an excellent inclusion in a deck that hasn't won, but I'm sure he's going to do today.
There's a lot more.
Probably would have.
We've got a lot more viruses and things to cover in the Anarchs, I noticed. So I'm looking forward to hopefully adding a few of those in. Is that? Maybe
I think we might be doing the Anarchs later. Yeah. So
cool.
In the classroom session.
Yeah,
but
that'd be good.
That's for later. Now, the homework was to create an HB deck. So we're looking at from the startup card pool. So we're looking at Architects of Tomorrow, or Precision Design, or Miramore, and then a runner of your choosing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get over to the arena and see what you've put together.
Absolutely. Let's.
Oh, Dave's on it.
Right.
Dave's on it.
So, right, Sharon, same password as normal. There you go.
I'm ready.
And I'm gonna make an any side, so you can pick which you want to play first.
I very much appreciate that, Dave, because I would like to play as Corp first. Corp? Oh, no, it's put me in as runner.
Oh,
Dirty
okay.
liar.
That's okay. I click the swap sides.
Yeah, sweet. Hooray!
Did that work? Okay.
If I checked out this interface the other day, and I assume you're seeing the same thing I do, that if someone joins as any side, when you click join the game, it asks you, do you want to join as runner or do you want to join as corp? Rather than just joining. So I think in that situation, you have to click join as corp to get in as the corp, in fact.
Cool. Well, Miramorph! Okay, I kind of wanted to play a Miramorph deck. We'll see how this goes. It's an absolute keeper. Oh my word.
Miramorph versus King. Oh, what a game.
Yeah, here we go.
And yes, Dave, that is a sneak.
That is absolute.
Right, let's No, I don't want to update my password.
But more importantly, do you want to keep or do you want a mulligan?
I think I actually want to keep.
Okay, let me just double check your ID here. So if the first, second and third actions you take on your turn are different from each other, when the third completes, you may gain a credit or take another different action paying 1 click less. Okay, sure. Also, thanks, Bill.
Oh,
It's good for
it
the
is.
vote of confidence there.
It
Right.
is very much the think about your turn before you do anything ID.
Yeah.
To make sure
Now
you
I
can
remember where I
capitalize on it.
kept falling down.
Were you just rushing into doing things and forgetting your ID? Yeah.
I was doing the same thing over and over again.
Each
turn.
Sure. I assume you've got lots of those cards that set up replacement effects for your basics. Then, so this should be good fun to see. Oh.
Oh no, it's taking notes on your Sharon, so no pressure whatsoever.
It's taking what? It's taking what?
Taking notes about how Miramorph works.
Okay, it's going to be watching you very closely. Yeah. Quick question, Mark. I've got a warning up here for Miramorph itself. I think it's Miramorph coming up with that. Yeah. It says does not work with terminal operations up here in the corner. I assume this is a Jinteki thing. Do you know what that means at all, or am I asking like ridiculous questions?
No, you're not in yourself. So I think that's like a built-in warning sign for new players because there is a type of operation you can play which has the subtype terminal, and what these cards usually have is a very strong effect, but playing it ends your turn so that you can't do any shenanigans directly after that.
Gotcha.
So when Miramorph was first released, it was ruled that you could use Miramorph's ability to circumvent terminals. So if you'd installed a card, drawn a card, played a terminal, you could then still do something after that.
I see.
But it was later re-ruled that you can't do that. Terminals are terminals for a reason. So I think that reminder is to tell anyone who's playing Miramorph, if you play a terminal, that is it. You don't get the Miramorph ability.
That is the end. See you later. There is an effect, I think, a little like... Oh my! Okay. Wait, what? For crying out loud! What? Sharon, did you mean to res that, or is that like the boldest threat? Oh! Oh my god!
I'm gonna ask. I'm just gonna undo that because no,
don't bother.
I didn't even mean to install it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
This is me and the tiny writing on the screen and my terrible eyesight. This is what was meant to happen.
Just advance it. Yeah, Jess is right. I've got one card and no flipping icebreakers yet. You just leave it there and advance that. Yeah. Here we go. Right, so okay. Oh, cool.
I mean,
wow, that's unexpected.
I was going to say that unfortunately it gives Sharon's game plan away, but we all knew what Sharon's game plan was going to be anyway. So.
Okay, so let's go with that badger. Let's stick that out there. And let's finally risk it for a biscuit. Wait, am I going to have enough? Oh, I'm not going to have enough. Undo click. Oh, that's cool. Let's run that instead. There we go. Sure.
Eyes, Dave.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Oh, dang. Okay. Okay.
So getting the Gordian blade down for kit is very important. So pleased to see that one, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But certainly need some money now.
yeah, I am happy, but I spent a lot of cash over these last 2 turns, so I'm pleased to see daily casts come out as well.
And Sharon's with the red up, which is a nice fit in a Mirror Morph deck, so that's a nice include.
Is that a genuine compliment, Mark?
Yep.
It is indeed, yeah.
Yes.
Gain credit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's take a chance. See what I'm failing to see there. Oh god, he's big. Okay, cool. Cool. See, I can never trust that you're not just chucking away agendas, Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of feel like I've expended that unnecessarily, but we'll see. Yeah.
Always worth checking, Dave. Always worth checking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, what have I done? I've taken some money.
Bold move at this time, at this point in the game, but
yeah, but it wouldn't be out of character at all, right? Bold, yes, but not a surprise.
What should I do? Let's do that. And then that. And then get another credit because I can.
Yeah. The kit ability is going to save me from running into some real horrible stuff. I hope. But we'll see. Right. Let's put that down. Let's do that.
just because you're not playing Mirror Morph, Dave, doesn't mean you should forget about sequencing your turn. But,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Oh wow! You've got 16 credits and you chose not to res it.
Yep.
I mean, what? Oh, yep. Toggle auto resolve always. Thanks. Then let's go round again. Aha! Aha! Right.
I forgot you had conduit, you see, so I was like, oh, bugger.
Okay. Oh my god, 7! Right, what can I handle from that? You may install one piece of ice from HQ or archives directly inward from this ice, ignoring all costs. So I'd have to face another piece of flippin' ice anyway. Potentially, because you got 10 credits. Oh no, install, not res. So you'd install it. Wait, when it says you can install one piece of ice inwards, aren't you installing it in the 0 cost slot anyway? But you could be installing it in the 1 slot or the 2 slot, that's why it says. Okay,
correct, yes.
Right, well, let's match it. Oh no, yep, that's correct. That cost me 4 credit. Dang, what? Wait, 4 Oh god, I really thought I had enough to
Do you want to undo the 4 credits thing?
That was sorry, an absolute miscount there. I'm just gonna let the Unbrokens fire, and then I'll just add the credits back.
Add the credits back in, yeah.
Go for it. Yeah. Damn, 6.
Mm.
Oh, that's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. God, Ansel's huge. So he's going to
Well,
cost
no
me,
matter.
with a Gordian blade, he's going to cost me 7 to get through. 7. Oh. God, that's a lot of ice. That's so much ice. Okay, sure. Strength 6. Oh, I need money.
Back to you, Dave.
Okay.
You don't have to win the game yet, Dave. This is the important thing to remember.
Yeah, you're right. But what if I did? Okay, cool. Cool. Your turn, Sharon.
Nice. Okay. Take some of that, and
Okay.
what do I want to do?
If you don't want to do anything at this stage, Sharon, you can just click for a credit and then gain another credit with the remorse ability. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Oh, archive memories to return sprinting.
Oh, yeah. I need to get through my decks.
Yeah, of course.
Need to look at them.
Right. Ha! Sure.
Dave, what are we doing, Dave?
I think 6, which would be break 3 subroutines, so that would reduce it from 7 to make that initial part of the run to 3 every turn. So
Okay, that is a lesser spotted 6 strength admin.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, God, that's got a price.
Are we sure? Are we sure we want to do this? Dave? Are you sure? You know,
Right.
I know you did have a lot of credits, but you've just spent 9 of them installing admin.
I want to see what that card is. If I don't know what that card is, I can't react to it. Sure,
Very true.
it might bankrupt me for a turn or two, but I kind of feel that next turn, instead of doing anything, all I'm going to be doing is clicking for flipping credits anyway. Yeah, I want to see what we are facing. Is that an Ansel?
Yep.
Not only is it an Ansel, it is the Ansel you saw in archives, and then you knew Sharon had installed it there because that's what she fired off Brand's ability.
Oh, she installed it out of archives. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, I deserve this. So that's expensive. That is an expensive trash. God. Oh, yep.
Is Conduit more of a threat, or is Gordian Blade more of a threat? Nah, it's admin.
Yep.
It's 100% correct.
Card to install. What's that one? What's this? I honestly, I've never used. I can't recall properly
you may
having.
install a card from HQ or archives. So the same way
Can
that
I
you got
install
this
it
Ansel
anywhere?
out. Yeah.
So I can install it on a different server.
Yeah. It doesn't say anything about putting it here.
It's a normal install, though. It's not like a brand install that goes in a special place. But yeah, anywhere that's a legal install.
Sure. And then I get to see what's in there. Cool.
You get to see, but not touch.
No. Cool. Okay.
Right, Sharon.
did you see, Dave?
I have looked. God, those are some big flipping cards.
Two. And then,
I don't have anywhere near enough clicks to just get through them with clicks.
Double buy arrives now, and he has pretty much turned off any clicky, breaky you were thinking of doing.
Yeah, anything I was hoping with
three.
that, long gone.
Ah, is that what you saw? Okay. Now what am I doing? Now why is it showing me this stuff? I've still got a click left. Okay. Sorry, I always forget that resin doesn't cost a click.
So you can install a card, or draw a card, or click for a credit.
And just to be clear, I can have as many upgrades as I like, right? In a server.
Yes. Other than regions,
Regions,
you can
you
only
can-
have one region, but as many upgrades as you like.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. Let's draw. Let's gain. Okay.
Sharon, you've done the right thing there, but you forgot to do something. Do you want to undo that, or it's too late if you advanced it, I suppose?
Yeah, I'll suck it up. I lost myself money, Dave. I've lost myself money.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Okay. Let's see what's in there. Oh, it was another archived memories but turned down.
I like to keep you guessing.
Sure.
So one of the things that you do with Mirror Morph, or can happen with Mirror Morph, is if you use the draw card ability as one of your different moves, you can end up overdrawing slightly. And if you're in a particularly aggressive plan where you're looking to draw through cards as quick as you can as well, then yeah, you'll end up with a lot of random things in archives.
Oh my god. Okay. Right.
It's a beefy remote server now.
I know. It's stonking. And I have a feeling that this is just a kill shot attempt. So I have to do something about that. I can turn the first one. Sorry,
if
what?
It's a clearinghouse.
Yeah.
If it's a clearinghouse, so you don't have to deal with it until it's in a lethal situation. So think about, you might get one or two more turns. You don't have to do something right now.
Yeah.
Other than finish your turn with more than two cards in your hand.
Yeah, of course. But I do need to get myself in a situation where I can at least try and do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I... Oh, it's only... in that case... Oh, did that still cost me the 2, even though I just clicked done instead of...
No.
No, I'm good. Okay, cool. Right, I think my best bet is to at least get some intel. Oh! Christ almighty.
Intel is going to cost you 5 credits unless you
I
want to
need...
let any of those fire.
So, if I match the strength, and then a break, that one, and
Ooh.
that one. There we go. Okay, yep, like that. I think, because I'm medium sure I'm not going to get close enough to do anything with enough money to do anything. Sharon, let me in. Fire those what's-its. Cool.
I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
do I want to do something and let you see something for quite significant benefit to me? I think no.
Huh. Okay. An enigma?
I think you can get past that, can't you?
Well, I'm still on the approach ice phase, so I'd love to be able to do something about it, but I'm not there yet. It's a code gate, so I can fully break it like so. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Shit. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Right, and that's a sentry, which... Mark, despite it saying jack out here, that's not an option, is it?
No, so you would have had to jack out before clicking continue.
Yeah.
Once you've clicked continue and Sharon's rezzed it, you are committed to encounter it.
Sure. Okay. Right. So I think I've got nothing that I can really do about this, because that is not a code gate. So I'm going to allow the subroutines to fire.
So what does it say?
You may add 1 card from archives back to your hand, and you may install. Then you may install a card from archives or HQ, ignoring all costs.
So does that mean if I put an ice out, it would res, and I wouldn't have to pay the res costs as well?
No, but you, for example, you could place a piece of ice in front of the answer on the remote, and where that would normally cost you 3 credits, it would cost you 0. Just for the install, not the res. The res you still have to pay for eventually.
Makes it much cheaper.
First of all, you bring 1 card back to your hand, which doesn't have to be an installable. It can be any card at all that's in your archives.
I want a regolith back.
Okay. I suppose
Let's go there.
regolith is oh really? Because the regolith is helping you to have a different click every turn, but yeah, sure. I suppose if you're advancing that uh, clearinghouse or whatever's there.
To that.
Cool.
Oh. Now I have to do
Okay.
something else.
You don't have to, but you can do if you wish.
Oh, because Dave, you can't do anything at the moment, can you?
I can't trash or
He can access,
steal.
but he can't steal or trash. So we can
Is there any benefit to you accessing? Nah.
Well, it tells you what cards are there, of course. The jiggy's up on that front. But
sure, a clearinghouse.
Do you know what I managed to do the other day? I accidentally installed a regolith mining license onto R&D. Now let me do it.
GeneTech does not have the smarts to stop you doing that at the moment.
Okay, so here's a surprise. You didn't res the Tranquility home grid.
Yeah.
If you'd resed it, then when you installed something due to Drafter, it would have been a free install. Not a free install. You would have got a 2 credits or a card draw out of the back end of it.
Not from the Drafter.
Surely not. You're installing a card on that server though, right?
Install a card in
the server, not protecting the server. Gotcha.
Correct. Yeah.
That would be a pretty amazing card to have.
Yeah.
That was the missed play earlier when this clearinghouse was installed. It could have been res there to gain 2 credits. You're correct. But,
okay. Let's gain credit. Gain some credit. Oh no! Shit. Okay, sure.
Do you need to undo?
Oh, I thought that was creative commission, but no, I'll take that.
You can undo, Dave. I don't mind.
Shit. You sure? Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, that was derpy. Sorry, I thought that was a creative commission. Right. There we go.
Do you have a special voice on?
Oh, wait, hang on.
I seem to have activated that one.
Sorry. That was how strange.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, one of my buttons also activates the voice changer. Because I manufactured a kick button for my PC. It's a floor button, and it's a keyboard that types /, so I can bind / to do things in games and then activate it with my foot. But in Discord, I use that for the voice changer. Sorry.
So now, Sharon, you're into the world of your brain completely imploding because you're using subliminal messaging in Mirrormorph, and nobody knows how many clicks you've got left now. It's just impossible to work out.
I have 2 clicks left. Oh, I need to get another thing out, I think. There. Done.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that,
Yikes.
What do you think, Dave, from the information you learned on your last foray?
Right. So at the moment, that's a 3 advanced. What's it?
Clearinghouse.
Clearinghouse, right? Which means that when Sharon's turn begins this turn, she could do 3 damage to me. That would be pointless because I know that's coming, and I'm just gonna throw out a Varcation. There are 28 cards in R&D, 3 cards in a HQ.
So you saw other cards in that server, though, presumably with the clearinghouse, right?
Sure, yeah. The Tranquility Home Grid and the Anoetic Void. The Anoetic Void makes it not pointless to for me to run it, but
It's not far off.
yeah, it's
right?
close to pointless.
You're going to be spending 1 billion credits to get a chance to
Yeah,
get
stop
stopped
that.
by Nanoetic.
Which means I've got almost no chance of stopping Anoetic go off, right? So now I've got to concentrate on the other servers and hope for an absolute home run, because that's all I've really got ahead of me is a wing and a prayer.
I agree with your assessment. This is what's called now playing to your oats. So
yeah,
as bad as the situation looks, you may as well play for a slim chance as waste your time chasing no chance at all.
Oh yeah. Now the Bran at the front end of R&D is expensive to get through, no matter which way you look at it. I don't think I have enough ability to cash up in order to get through through the Bran in a sensible fashion, because that would cost me 7 to break, right, with the Gordian Blade. And the next one, if I put something in front of it, if I turned that, would cost me 5, which means that it's going to cost me my entire run and 5 credits. So my entire turn and 5 credits to get through to R&D once, right? Once. So I should probably gain credit 3 times, pray for a happy Varcation day, which I know isn't coming, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then attempt something next turn. And turn, discard down. This is going to not help. This is too expensive to use, and I'm never getting a chance to use all of those. Go for it. There we go. So, yeah, it's a rock and a hard place.
Okay. Right, so let's 1, 2, 3.
I think it's into flick.
4.
Oops. Cool. Okay. Strong turn, right. So, nano etching is one of the swappers. Right. If I...
What are you thinking, Dave?
I'm thinking... that this is going to be problematic. Oh, gosh, okay. sure. End turn. Ferries. That's resources.
If you played that diesel first, Dave, you could have done something else. I know
Yeah,
that's hindsight, but
yeah.
Do you want to just redo it, or?
No, that's fine. Yep, that's all good. It's your go.
Ooh. So, guess I'll play that.
Uh-huh.
Get
Your choice
couple
of
of
what order to do
cards.
things. Yep.
Yeah. And then a click. So that was one card, one thing.
Yep.
oh god,
Two
this
things.
is going to be 27 clicks, isn't it, the way this is going?
Gain a click. Use
there
that.
it is. Okay. So it's gone lethal. This.
Oh, damn it! I can't do that, can I?
What do you mean? How do you mean you can't do it?
I miscounted because you can't do the same thing on your click gained from the mirror morph ability as you've already done.
Mm-hmm.
Unique.
You've got quite a few
Turn.
click replacement things though. Right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Start turn. And let's not forget. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2. Then I can trash one installed, run a card. Yeah, fair enough. I've got to get rid of that. You may install one card from HQ archives. Well, I won't get a second run anyway at this rate. Are you ready?
Yep.
Miracles happen every day. Here we go. I'm continuing to encounter the ice, please.
All right.
Right. Now, I'm going to get rid of this one, and this one. 0 clicks, pass ice and continue. Continue to encounter ice. Are you ready for me to net
Yes, I am.
Three
I'm
agendas in one?
I am excited for you because it's possible. It is absolutely possible.
Match, strength and fully break. I'm zeroed. The only thing I don't have zeroed is MU, and I'm bitterly disappointed with that.
It would be terrible if I had a snare in here.
I have no further action. That would be incredible. Incredible. Here we go. Bum. GG. Well, you can't say I didn't try. Do you know what the most there we go. The most unfun option there would have been to jam the concede button. Yeah. Cool. That was quicker. That was
yeah. It was cool.
Flatlined. Cool.
It was it's very speedy, 39 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought that we had a bit of pace there, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh gosh, look at that. Credits gained 44. Credits by click 17. 17 credits by click. Grim. Okay. Yeah.
Look at Sharon's credit by click.
Yeah, 2.
That's
both of them.
Incredible.
Yeah, especially considering that's a basic action that she could use to get from Mirrormorph for free.
Which one?
Yeah, gain a credit.
Yeah, that was silly.
Just gain one. No, you could have used it for getting that ping off, but never needed to because you had enough stuff to do. Yeah.
So what you've done there, Sharon, is seem to have put together a very competent mirror morph deck. We'll have a look at that in a bit more detail later. And B, found the current problem with the startup card pool.
What's the problem?
I had no way to deal with
because if you play in on Gin Ticket at the minute, you'll find 99.7% of your opponents putting clearing houses behind analytic voids. And there is very little in the startup card pool that can live with that.
Yeah.
I have to ask though, Dave, it seemed like you just weren't getting any money cards or ice coming out.
So, icebreakers.
Icebreakers, sorry.
You wouldn't believe how many I threw away in the face of how pointless it was. Most of my theory was utilizing the gaining code gate thing, and then giving stuff code gate. I threw away a couple of chameleons. Oh no, just the one chameleon. I'm sure I had one more in my hand. 3 Atmans went the way of the dodo. A couple of egrets as well were there. So rather than go directly for like a huge suite of multi-type breakers, I went with stuff that could either turn things off, turn things into code gates, or could be used for multiple purposes, and that's the chameleon and the Atmans. However, cash-wise, you're right. I was a bit low on cash. I had a couple of career fairs to try and make installing resources a bit easier. I had 3 daily casts in there. I only got 1 of them out. I have 3 creative commissions. 2 of them came out. I mean, I wasn't getting like no cash. I got quite a lot of cash, right? It's just I also had an absolute dry spell in the middle, and then spanked 9 of it on an Atman and forgot what was coming up next, and ended up having it deleted in 1. So yeah, mind you, that Atman would have been
honestly,
a bit of a wacky target.
On the inside, I was like, please carry on your run, please, because I could see what was what was there.
Jess makes a good point as well. I didn't see a single agenda. Not one.
Yeah, no, I couldn't, because that was the I tried to keep it down, because I thought if I want to, so I had 3 clearing houses because I really just wanted to try and kill you. But one thing I found was when I was playing the deck initially, I had loads of those low scoring agendas, and that meant that when people were able to break through R&D, because I was there trying to protect my that money card, the one that you saw, was it Nano Etching Matrix, and my clearinghouse, they were just getting all these agendas out.
Right.
So yeah, it was like the first iteration, I was trying to do too many things, have the low scoring agendas that I could score quickly and kill the runner and get enough money.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't, well, I shouldn't just, click advance, I was too slow.
You cannot have, well, you can, but they won't be good, jack of all trades decks. They've got to have a game a plan A and possibly a bit of a plan B. As you've just rightly said, if you say, oh yeah, I'll try and score, but I might try and kill, but I might do this and that, then you'll end up doing nothing.
And indeed, I learnt and I honed.
Well, I'm ready for the next one.
Are you?
Swing back in the other direction, yeah.
I'm not ready for the next one because I've realised I had tweaked my runner deck, and I've still got 5 credits left, 5 influence left.
But do you have the right number of cards in it?
No. What do you take me for, Dave? Of course I don't have the right number of cards.
Okay, the 5 influence is neither here nor there. It's whether you've got a full deck. That's the badger, right?
So, I mean, I was thinking about this week about how to try and persuade you about this minimum deck size stuff.
Mm.
And I was thinking of like a random topic. Could be anything really. Let's say building a bridge. And
Any topic you can think of off the top of your
any
head.
topic at all. Yeah, and then what you do is you measure up like the width of the road and the space it has to go over the top of, and you've done all those calculations and stuff, and you know that it needs to be, I don't know how big bridges are, 10 foot wide. That's probably far too narrow. And then you say, I know, I'll make it 15 foot wide because more bridges means more fun. And then you build a bridge that wastes a lot of time and resources to fill up space that no one needs any bridge for, and you get a really wide footpath that nobody uses.
Wait, two identical bridges right next to each other. That sounds crazy, Mark.
So I love that you chose a bridge as an example to try and make your point. But the thing about designing and building bridges, in my view, not everyone's view, is that
The
having
more the better.
extra strength
Sure.
and building for potential future needs is really, really important.
Oh, not extra strength.
And
or
so
future
you
needs,
should.
just two identical bridges right next to each other.
Absolutely,
Maybe five.
that is absolutely the way forward.
One
That's
bridge
the way
per
we should all
person.
go.
one bridge each.
Well, I'll look out for that in future. Next time I'm in London, I will look for these double bridges
Well,
going over everywhere
Look out for
with a
that, Mark,
single lane road.
because you won't be able to see the Thames. That's for sure. On account of all the bridges over it, yeah, it'll be absolutely covered.
And when the Thames has disappeared, we'll say, well, it's for future potential use.
It's future
That
proof.
is.
So is 51 cards in a runner deck too much?
Yes.
What if I just really don't want to get rid of anything?
Well, you'll just carry on playing them with too many cards.
Yeah.
And then when we get to the feedback stage, you'll say, how can I make it better? And I'll say, play the right number of cards.
About 50 cards then.
If you play in Valencia, 50 cards would be ideal.
What about
Is that,
49 cards?
How about can you go to 45? Are we negotiating here?
I'm slowly clicking down one on each item.
You know what you don't need is those 3 different types of hardware. You could probably just have like the one net deck.
I have 4 hardware. Do you know what? Let's do it.
Sure.
I'm ready. I'm
Cool.
just gonna suck it up. I've got 49 cards. I can't get away with any fewer.
Sure. Okay. Oh, that's a joy. Oh,
Tis me.
we're in. Oh. Okay.
Were you not expecting that?
I wasn't actually. I wasn't. Wait,
What did you think I was going to go for?
What was Kit's a deck where?
Yes, Mark, you're telling me how to do engineering.
I wasn't giving you the specifics, just a principle you can identify with. But we now know why your employer has no money, because you've blown it all on future-proofing bridges.
I wish we would spend more money on bridges.
Okay.
Start game. Oh, you're mulliganing. Oh, what's this?
Okay.
Aspiroid. Maximum one. Oh,
Plus-
so you're going to go thick and fast for the agendas, are you?
+1
Damn.
hand size.
Mm-hmm. So if you had an Amoetic Void, you could keep me at bay for 3 runs.
True. And then
Oh, that's a good one. What's that? Oh, get the money in quickly.
Yep.
It's hardware.
Your go.
Dave,
Yeah.
did you mean to do that?
Yep. I absolutely did.
Why?
Dave's going for the mirror morph.
Yes, but he's not a mirror morph. Oh, right, okay.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just seeing if Jinteki notices.
Okay.
Look, I'm fine with my turn.
I know. I'm sorry.
Come and take
I'm
this agenda
just
out my hand
surprised.
so that I can score more off of it when I score one, please.
I'm just surprised, Dave. That's it. I'm just surprised.
Sure, sure. Do you want me to throw Megaprix qualifier away so that it's more obvious? Come on, get it.
What's Megaprix qualifier?
It's the I've gone for asynchronous agendas. Ones that are worth more for me than they are for you.
Well, that's natural, isn't it? Why wouldn't you?
Of course. Of course. And I've tried not to be too obnoxious about it, but it's an obnoxious concept, so it is what it is. Oh, memory diamond straight away. What are you, me? Okay,
Pointless, isn't it? Because I've got nothing to put out.
sure.
Mark's looking very concerned. I hope it's for you, Dave, not me.
Cards I wasn't expecting to see.
From me or from Dave?
In your deck, primarily.
Oh.
Why is it always
Maybe you've blown the net wide open. I'll wait and see.
I mean, I should have mulliganed. I realise that now.
There you go. I've taken away all your options. Sorry.
Right. That was not a programme. One click left. Boom. Oh, you're awfully quiet there, Dave.
Yeah, I'm doing thinkings. Big thinkings. Sorry, Mark. There we go.
Gate. Code gate.
You're really taking this playing mirror morph in the wrong identity too far, Dave.
I don't know why. This was not my intention, right? To do a different thing with every click. It's just maybe I'm naturally more like of a mirror morph player than I thought. Oh, professional contacts, very nice.
Yes.
I thought about getting professional contacts, and then I realised I needed to make room in my deck for sensibleness, so I got rid of it.
Gain a click and draw a card.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Gain a credit and draw a card.
Gain a
click
credit.
and draw a card for one click. Does seem strong.
In some ways, it's the quintessential shape of card because you pay a lot of money to make one of your basic actions more efficient. And that's
It was
what
only
Shape would do
2,
at
wasn't it?
heart.
Oh, it was 5. Oh, that's where all my money went. Shoot.
So, in the classic Netrunner debate of whether professional contact is good or not, the naysayers call professional contacts by tempo
By tempo.
because it gets you lots of credits in the long term, but it costs you lots of credits in the short term.
Yeah.
do I want to do this? Why not? This is not the order, and I know, Mark, you're going to have a go at me, but... Oh, bugger!
Huh?
Gain a credit. Let's have a crack at you. What is it, Dave?
Oh! Yeah, he's big, right?
7. Yeah. I don't think I can do anything. I can't, can I? Because I can't afford it.
You can take 2 brain damage and lose an installed card, yeah. So, welcome to tonight's episode of Running into Big Ice at the Wrong Time.
I should have, do you know what? I should have waited. I should have got more money. I knew it. I just was hoping it was a small one.
Got more money? I mean, you had quite a lot, and then you had the 5 as well. You weren't doing too
Yeah, I
bad
know.
for cash.
I just shouldn't have been so eager to run. And Mark tells us every time.
Like 5
and I
credits.
still was too eager.
5
I should have
credits is
I should have set myself up. Dave, I've said fire all unbroken subroutines.
Oh god, okay, here we go. Select an install card to trash. Funny story. It's
Which
that
one?
I trashed your blade.
Ah.
Your Gordian blade. So now, that got me some dosh.
Might have to go and get a drink now. I feel so ashamed of my play.
I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and then I go like this, and then it's your go.
What did you do? Get money?
I got money. I took my hedge fund out of our archives using archived memories, and then I played it again. Ugh.
Is that an event? Damn, I wish I'd put prepaid down. Bugger, bugger, bugger.
Right, so
See, we can talk about this more later in the deck feedback session, but I feel like the feedback I'll mainly be providing for this kit deck is exactly the same feedback I provided to this kit deck last time.
Changes, though.
You have made some changes, yes. They're not the changes I recommended, though, from what I can see.
Well, that's because I couldn't remember the changes you recommended. Ooh, why's that got 5? What is it? What is it, Dave?
what is it, Sharon?
Why would you take
What?
something to 5?
It's behind a tier.
So let's pop you out. Let's do that. Oh, that only gives me 1 card.
Yes, because we had an in-depth conversation about how professional contact and verbal plasticity is a
Do the same
non-no,
thing. Yeah.
because they both can't draw cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can do this. Ooh.
I mean, it shows me. Yeah.
Oh, bum! I've only got four hands,
credits.
don't I?
Oh, 4
Yeah, well,
hand.
let's pop
yeah.
that out.
Because your brain damage.
Phew! Back to 5.
Okay.
Knew it was worth having loads of cards that give me maximum hand size increase. Glad I didn't willfully take those out. Mark, we don't do these things just to wind you up, I promise.
Yes, you do.
I promise.
If I play that, and then
Thank you, Jessica.
I play this,
Oh,
and then I
wait,
gain
wait.
a click and gain 2 of
Dave,
those.
Dave, I didn't get a chance to... Oh, here we go. Pantograph, yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I haven't finished scoring that yet. I think. Oh, no, I have. Yeah, sorry, pantograph. There we go. Do you want to pantograph? Install a
Dave, you
card
seem to
from
have scored a Vitruvius with 4 tokens on it.
Me?
You are a terrible person who should be not allowed to play the game anymore.
Mark, can you see what my goal is? Can you see it? Can you see what I'm doing? Can you see it? That if we have a look at Mr. Harsbieroid Precision Design over here, whenever you score an agenda, you add 1 card from archives to HQ.
Are you trying to recycle them?
Project Vitruvius, add 1 card from archives to HQ. The only cards that are, okay in there at the moment are archived memories. Add 1 card from archives to HQ. It's a theme. It's a theme.
Certainly a theme. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good theme, but it is a theme.
I mean, generally, you only see a Vitruvius with 4 counters on it when someone is deep, deep in the realms of combo-wombo territory. I can only assume that we're still going to see something like that here.
Who needs wombo combo when you've got a tier to do the womboing and the comboing for you?
I mean, that is true.
Do you have to use a click to use Project Vitruvius then?
You do not.
No, you just
It's a
take.
ability.
Yeah. Which means I could use it during any paid ability window?
Correct. So you can bring a card back to your hand just the time you need it. You can bring a card back to your hand just the time that your opponent's going to steal it. You can bring a card to hand just to pad out your HQ if someone was running in there to try to steal some agendas. You can do all sorts of it. Yeah, very valuable counters.
It's pretty strong.
Sharon is now playing Kit like she's Mirror Morph.
1 of everything, please.
1 Poco draw, 1 verbal draw, 1 operation.
2 memory diamonds out and still only 5 grip.
Yeah.
This bad boy. Sorry, Dave. I'm just trying to
No, go for it. Sure.
figure out these cards.
Why you put these cards in your deck? Yeah.
No,
I'm also thinking this.
that is not what I was thinking. No.
Is this the deck you played, and then afterwards everybody clipped that clip where you were like, maybe this deck is shit?
No, that was the Isla deck.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I thought for some reason I thought Maker's Eye was a different card.
Sure.
Or what to do then? Pop that out then.
Okay. I quite enjoy the idea of recycling using and redoing things.
Deck heap. Desperately need the money. Where are my money cards? Wait, sorry, I've completely forgotten. So, do you need to use a click to use one of those things on Project Vitruvius?
No.
Still no. They are paid abilities, so as Dave said, in any paid ability window, you may spend one of those counters.
Got it.
Yep. As and when. Now, just to double check, Mark, you do encounter unresed ice, don't you?
You do not.
You do not. Okay.
You approach unresed ice, but an
Gotcha.
encounter only takes place at its rest.
Gotcha. Okay. So that piece of ice that I've got out in server 1 at the front won't actually be encountered, and the first one on a run on server 1 at the moment would be tier.
If you don't res it, yes.
If I don't res it. Gotcha. If, say, it was a second tier and would cost me 10 to res, for instance. Just spitballing reasons I wouldn't res it.
It would cost you 10 to res, but then it would also trash your original tier, because tier is unique.
Ah, tier is unique, isn't he? Yeah.
This is one of the very few pieces of unique ice.
He's very cool. I understand why he's unique, though. Those abilities are pretty freaking bonkers.
Yeah. That was really tough.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yep.
I need the money.
Sure. Okay. Cool, right. Let's go.
I'd be interested to see if you do what I would do here, Dave.
Cost. Hang on. Cash. I had a different plan for this, Mark. I absolutely had a different plan for this.
Well, you've done two of the things I would have done so far, so...
Okay. Here we go. Right, this seems wacky.
Is it?
However,
that last one was wacky.
That's
Okay.
wacky, right? That's reasonably wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So I rezzed him, and now, oh wow! Oh,
you can.
shucks! I've ended up. Okay, sure.
No, what did you think was going to happen?
I thought I was going to end up with 7 cards in hand. I miscounted the fact that I was playing Spin Doctor out of my hand in order to do it. Yeah, that was. Whoops. That's fine. This is fine. That's okay. That's
I mean,
fine.
you could always use a Vitruvius token if you wanted to put yourself over hand size limit. That would be an extraordinary use of.
Oh, I could. Oh, yeah. No, I'm a. I kind of think I want to do that. Can I undo that click? Yeah.
I mean, you can as far as I'm concerned.
Cool. You're okay with me undoing that click, Sharon?
Of course.
Okay. That did nothing.
Do I have to do undo click?
It's
I'll do it,
Sharon's go to undo click, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry. Thanks. Right. So. Shit. What happened there? Okay. Yep. Him out to a new remote. Right. Then I res him. Yep. Getting me 2. Then I spank this to get me. I don't know. Who cares, really? Honestly. I stick one of these in hand. Then,
do you have a card that'll let you, like...
End the turn. Discard down to 6.
This is a bit of an unusual turn.
Your go, Sharon. What makes you say it's an unusual turn, Mark?
Fund.
I did get a hedge fund back, yes. But I could have got that hedge fund back in between turns at the start of your paid ability window instead, and I wouldn't have had to discard down. But clearly, I wanted something in my archives. However, I'm not the corp that cares about things being face down in my archives.
Oh, you said something humanity. Restoring humanity.
Yeah, you're restoring humanity with that. That would be sort of a sort of derpy move. Like there wouldn't be.
We'd be having questions about how restoring humanity were playing Project Vitruvius, but
I've massively misplayed because I don't have any goddamn money.
Yeah. Cool.
Bum.
you know what would have gained you more money over these last few turns?
You're
I'm
about to say
just getting clicks.
professional
Just
content.
like drawing with professional contracts rather than verbal plasticity.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, Jesus,
Oh yeah.
she goes
But I
into
wanted
heat, doesn't
more
she?
cards. I wanted loads of cards, not fewer cards.
Oh, I see. Yeah, see.
But you are correct. I
Okay,
should have just
okay.
carried on clicking
Biotic
professional
labour,
contacts.
hedge funds.
What?
Wait. And a card from Archive.
You have to give me a commentary
Biotic
because otherwise
labour.
I won't really know what you're doing.
Right, I get biotic labour back. Then I get biotic labour.
Have you just
back.
got really expensive?
Then
Dave, you've got no money, Dave.
I've got no cash left. Oh no! Damn it,
You've
the
just spent
biotic labour.
12 credits on biotic labour.
Damn you, biotic labour, and your unnecessary expense. Rats. Okay.
It was somewhat designed with this scenario in mind. Not this exact scenario, as not even 1,000 monkeys could have predicted this. But
Sure. Wait, can I undo that last biotic labour? Because if I play instead the hedge fund, which was the intent, and then I can biotic labour.
And then you can have 5 clicks.
And then I'm at 4 clicks for 6 credits. That was the order I meant. Here we go. Right, 4 clicks, 6 credits, and then I 1, 2, 3, 4, score.
Score.
Then I think I want hedge fund. Cool.
I need a drink.
I probably should have gone for red level clearance.
Yeah,
over
red
hedge
level
fund.
clearance is a
Yeah.
brilliant card.
Yeah. But
Mark's
I'm
just gone to get a drink, hasn't he? This
Yeah,
is
he
good
has.
because he's absolutely right. All my money cards are just not showing up because I've got too many cards in the deck. I've only got 4 extra cards now, though. So
what? You're only 4 over the 45, so you're at 49.
yeah.
Yeah. When Mark says these two things, verbal plasticity and the professional contacts, kind of clash. If you had like a chunk of clicks, then drawing 2 cards up first is cool.
It was silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have put in something else other than that verbal like prepaid voice pad instead of the verbal plasticity.
I would have ditched
and
the
then
verbal
just
plasticity like outright because you can only have one of them out. But just scrap them. Like because there's got to be 3
How
of those
many do
in
I
there,
have?
right?
I actually think I was trading off verbal plasticity and something else.
Oh,
Get
sure.
the money to make the runs is the name of this deck.
Sure.
I have 1 verbal plasticity. All right.
Sure, yeah. One click left.
No, I don't want to do that. No, god damn it. Now it won't let me do anything. Choose a card. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Do I not have the money for it? Choose a card to host egret on.
Oh, you have to choose one of my cards to host egret on, to turn it into a code gate, sentry, and barrier, all at the same time.
But it's not letting me click any of your cards.
What does it say?
Choose a card to host egret on.
What does it say exactly? Choose one.
Oh,
on
res.
the card, choose one res.
Okay,
You can only
res.
put it on tier.
Got it. Oh, that's
That's
pointless.
your only legal target with it. I did exactly the same thing last game. I clicked it thinking, oh, I'll put it ahead so that I can, use it on something else, and then it never worked. Ooh, self-modifying
Do you not want
codes.
to do that?
No?
Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that.
Do you want to take that back?
Absolutely. I want to do this.
Oh, an Atman. At what cost? How? A 7 cost Atman? Okay. Sure.
I like it.
Sure, that's pretty big, isn't it?
Money conservation is very difficult to learn. Yes, Jess. And the best thing is, so is unmuting yourself, which is or turning on your microphone. It's good for us though, Dave, because Mark looks like he's railing.
Well, I probably saw your last turn where you installed a 7 Atman.
Do that.
Cool. Thing is...
Oh gosh, Mark's disappeared. He's so disgusted at what we're doing.
I am in no way surprised.
He is just gone.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Here he comes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
hello?
Hello, yes.
There we go. Sharon, you've got one in the play area. Don't forget to drag it back into your hand before
Oh.
you use verbal plasticity to draw yourself to death.
Can I undo that then?
Yes, absolutely.
I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me.
Ah, always the best way.
So drag that out of the play area back into your hand.
And
There
it's
you go.
absolutely for the best. You couldn't hear me what I was saying.
I've got 5 credits, Mark. It's all right.
Install that in server 1. And then put this one in. Oh, I don't know.
If you've hardly rezzed anything and you've had numerous hedge funds, where's all your money gone?
Sharon, I spent 2,700 credits on getting a 9-click turnout and doing nothing with it. In all fairness, a lot of it's gone into Project Vitruvius and Project Vacheron. And I rezzed a tier for 10, so...
Some of the terms that have been seen tonight have never before seen in the Netrunner. All the viewers are now just taking notes on what not to do, rather than.
That's fair. I mean, that's how you learn as well. That's a service I can provide. Come on, Dave. What's this one?
Oh, do I want to bother? Or, hang on a minute. Let me work out whether I even care. Right? Let's look at this. You've got an Atman. Okay, that's going to cost you
3. Tier's got 3 on it, right?
It would cost you, 3 to get through tier. You got 9 credits. If I res that, it costs me X credits, and it would cost you. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Screw it. There we go. It's a magnet.
Each hosted program loses. Oh, so that's.
It gets rid of viruses that are hosted elsewhere. But looking at your total number of viruses played so far, fairly certain it's okay. So that costs you a couple to get through. It cost me 3 to res. It costs you 2 to get through. Now you've got a tier. You can use clicks, but those clicks will end up in my bank account. Continue to encounter ice.
I mean, I'd just use my admin.
The magnet would have been very good if there'd been an installed egret.
Yeah.
Hoovered that right up. But...
Yeah, very true. Right. So. Oh wait. Did you?
My admin.
Oh, I thought you'd done the atman. Sorry, I misread
I
that.
used Gordian Blade.
No,
I used Gordian Blade on magnet and then admin on your tier.
You hadn't used atman though yet, I don't think. You encountered it but hadn't used it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you're gonna have to redo it. I'm afraid.
Yep, we'll have to redo that because I just thrashed you with the just auto firing. That's my bad. Sorry. Let me. I think you undo the click. Right. Okay. Do the run again. There we go. Sorry, that was. I thought you'd clicked it already. I looked up in the list and it said you'd approached tier. And I just absolutely misread it. Cool. Continue to encounter ice. Then atman it. Cool.
And then you had Manganan Skunkworks.
Skunkworks. There we go. Okay.
But now I know. I'm not allowed to trash this after I click end the run, am I?
No. Well, yes, but wait. You're either going. Oh, you don't have enough clicks.
Yeah.
Or credits, which means that you approach it. Mark, you because the run is ended.
Because I've not accessed it.
It's not accessed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. You come to a grinding halt just in front of it.
Oh,
yeah.
Bye, Jess.
Close. Cool. Right. Okay. Anything else with your last click?
Sorry, I forgot I still had a click.
Yeah.
Yes, I should do that.
Sure. Cool.
Yes, let's do that.
Are you picking which ones to get rid of?
Yep.
Right, so
yes, yes.
Then I will.
What are you drinking at the moment, Mark?
Drinking marshmallow smoothie sour.
Ooh, where's that from?
It is from Vault City Brewing, who are from Glasgow.
Is it a good one?
It's extremely nice, yes.
5 credits. There's 3 credits there. That's 1 click. That would leave you with, if you did it on your first, so you click then, you get 3 credits. That puts you 8 credits and 3 clicks. Then you're through.
What I really appreciate is that Dave is doing the maths for me. And so depending on what he does next, it will show me when I need to make a run.
And sure enough.
Unless it's a trap. Is it a trap, Dave?
What? Oh, what?
I was,
Right.
I was
A
joking.
trap, you say? Who? What?
Love red level.
Okay. What have I got there that can help out? Cool. I like the look of that. Right, so if I do this, then this, there we go.
Oh, it's that first lockdown.
Yes, it is. It's a lockdown. That's right.
What's a lockdown?
Okay, so if you look in the play area, I played a card called NEXT Activation Command. It's a lockdown, a type of operation. You can only play it if there are no active lockdowns. So this operation is not trashed until my next turn begins. The runner cannot use non-icebreaker cards to break subroutines. Each piece of ice has +2 strength, which means that I got one beefy flipping boy there. Oh, interesting. I am going to res Ravana because that is huge. That's huge. It's so large. Oh, because that is large. But unfortunately,
But
the
you don't
NEX
have another what is this? Bioroid. You've got
So you're not allowed to click.
tire.
You're not allowed to click through with it. You can only use Atman, interestingly enough, because it's at +2 strength.
Why couldn't I use Gordian Blade?
Well, yeah, because you don't have the money.
I mean, the fact that that's worked out at strength 7 and Atman is at strength 7 is,
What the hell, right?
again, the most incredible scene in the history of Netrunner.
I genuinely cannot believe that there are absolute shenanigans occurring there.
No,
Why does that work out at 7?
Because it's 5 normally, right, with +2 thanks to NEXT.
Oh, fab.
It just so happens that you put down a 7 Atman to try and deal with Tyr, which is that's just crazy.
If you
Sure.
hadn't played any XT, that would have fired.
Yep.
So,
It would absolutely have fired.
I mean, I wish I could take credit for realising that would happen.
You could never have realised that would happen. That's crazy.
Dick. Where are all your...
They're in my archives, Sharon.
Oh, hang
Where
on,
I
you've
put
got
them.
1 credit.
They're in the archives where I put them. Obviously. Ah, sure.
I mean, I can't get to server 1, so there's no point really.
No, very true. Oh. Oh.
No.
Whoa! Whoa!
No.
Whoa!
No.
Are you sure? Are you
Not
sure?
do that.
Wait. Oh, you're having another go? Cool.
Off tire.
The Norse god of war, correct. Right. Well, I mean, that cost me a lot of moolah. So let's do 1, 2. Oh,
the amount of money that has been processed through precision design today would definitely have required some sort of audit to check if it's a laundering operation.
I've spanked so much cash on next to nothing. It's incredible.
Correct.
But you do have 5 agenda points, and I've got none, so you're doing something pretty well.
Very true. I can afford to lose 1 or 2 agendas here, maybe even 3 or 4.
With some different lines of play, this game would have been finished about half an hour ago.
Yeah, Dave, we've been playing this game for an hour.
Should. Yeah, it's your go. Come on.
Don't give me that rubbish.
Yeah, in all fairness, I think I've made some excitable misplays so far. So yeah, it has taken a little while. Professional contacts. Atman.
Oh, what is happening now?
What shenanigans is this? A 5 power Atman. Gotcha.
Look, I do what I have to do, Dave.
Sure.
It's cost you 8 credits to install that 5-hour app.
I know, but I'm not going to get through server 1, so I might as well keep having a crack at R&D.
Well, you could have broke it with Guardian Blade twice for the price of that one Atman.
I thought
No.
Atman, you could only interface with ice exactly of equal
Yeah,
strength.
ignore the Atman.
So I can't.
Mark's talking about your Gordian blade and the fact that it works with kit.
Oh shit! I'd forgotten about that.
Again. That was what you
You
did
need
last
to
time.
use kit because Ravana's a code gate.
Oh yeah.
Fine.
Also, it's a
God, I forgot about that as well.
Wait, a 5-cost Atman? Yeah! I made that same mistake last week, where I installed an Atman for
Doing
something
this,
I could
why
break
didn't you
through.
say, Sharon? Are you sure you want to do that? Honestly, you've said that like 5 million times today. Just a little Sharon, what are you doing?
That was a lot of money, but it's your go. No credits, 5 cards in
You've
hand.
spent 18 credits on Atmans in a single game. This is unheard of.
It does seem like quite a lot now you say it out loud.
Just because I'm a bit forgetful, Mark.
It's that brain damage, that's what's doing it.
Absolutely. Well, I don't need that. What's this about? Yeah, let's have one of you. Oh, gosh. I've forgotten about that as well.
Right, start turn.
Go on, Dave.
Okay,
Dave,
so...
if you've got an agenda, just bloody advance it and finish.
Yeah, but it won't... Right, but what I can do is I can get my agenda back out my archives instead. So now it's your turn.
Install a card. Do I have enough money to install a card? I don't think I do. Oh, mosquito.
The bugger is, if you'd accessed archives and scored a Mega Prix qualifier, I would have just
I don't
won.
think I'd have had anything. Yeah.
What? You would have got 1 point out of it at the very least. It was kind of annoying. Is there any way, Mark, for me, the Corp player, to turn cards up in my archives? Do I have to put them face down?
You have to put them face down, yes. I don't think there are any abilities that you can forcibly disclose information like that now.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's 2.
There's a card you'll see when we get to the Jinteki section that allows you to turn all your cards in archives face down again, which is quite a niche application, but it is for reasons of shenaniganery. So,
japes, I believe they're called. Manatman, continue to parso the ISO. I'm going to res this bad boy.
Drafter. What can I use for drafter? Anything? Nothing really.
No, nothing.
So you get to install things.
Yeah, he doesn't stop the run, but he does allow me to install something for free and to get a card back out of archives. Okay, here we go. So I'll have one of those to install from archives or HQ. Oh, gosh. Okay, so I've got nothing but operations in archives.
Dave.
Yep. It's this, Mark. It's this, right? Pretty sure it's this. I'm like 99% sure it's this here. Because now
Yes,
I
yes,
win.
it is.
Now I win, right? Right.
Unless Sharon ripped 7 points off R&D on this run.
Yeah,
Okay.
unlikely though.
Okay, here we go. 3 cards out of R&D. Come on, lucky 2 Project Vacherons.
That will need 4 turns to tick down.
Yep.
Have you?
Rude.
You've done
I've got no further actions.
No.
Oh. Sure. Right,
There
now
we go. Go for it, Dave. Go.
Now I get to red level clearance, gain a click, gain 2 creds, then advance.
Advance.
Scour.
Nice. Good game.
Cool. 48 minutes. I'm so sorry. That 17 turns should never have taken 48 minutes. I asked right up in the middle there when I went, you know what, it's fun to gain clicks. Went bananas playing Biotic Labour.
You did go slightly mad.
I was so excited to be able
You
to.
had a window where you could have just almost certainly just scored Project Vacheron behind Tia, and that would have been fine.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
after laboured out, you would have been chances to win.
Yep. And instead, what I did was I rolled Biotic Labour into itself twice for fun, which was probably a wrong move. Probably.
Oh, it's going to have to be a fast run through these cards for the new group.
Oh yeah, cool. Well played, GG.
Well, good. I
There we go.
think well played is an overstatement for me there, Dave. Good game though.
Yeah, I think you played well with what you had. Yeah.
With time ticking on, we won't do a deep dive into your deck.
Don't bother.
I think from what we have seen, I think both of these corp deck look very competent. They've got from what I've seen, they've got all the bits in they should have in. They don't seem to have too many cards, or I didn't check that on Sharon's list. And they play the way you would expect them to be played.
Yeah.
These leaving it to your own devices on these runner decks has, well, it's been
I think.
an
Well, do you
education.
know what? It's part of that thing where I used all my steam up on the corp deck, and then the runner deck has definitely suffered.
Yeah.
Well, so we're gonna go, when we go into the classroom session in a second. We're going to talk about runner cards. So in the following few days, you'll have chance to put a runner deck together based on having these cards in your head. What do you think you should do on the corp side?
Um, port side, I think it would be interesting to have a Jinteki or a Wayland.
So what you're going to do is make up a deck based on not having looked at the cards for a while and just throw them together in a haphazard fashion.
Ha!
No. Clearly,
Oh.
we're going to create a deck, test it as many times as we possibly can, tweak it so it's a competent deck.
Sure. What I was going to recommend is that you play the same or similar deck that you've been done tonight that have worked well, that look like competent corp decks, because then you don't have to put the brain power and time into developing 2 brand new decks.
Okay.
But, you know, who am I to judge? Apart from literally the judge.
Apart from having a wealth of experience, what do you know, right? Also, 3
I want to
influence
know,
in that.
is the Jinteki card that has us turn everything face down in ashes?
Yes.
What are we learning about next?
We're going to learn about anarchs.
Ooh, not criminals.
Cool.
We can do criminals if you really want, but I was going to do anarchs.
Nah, let's do anarchs.
Seems like a pretty good time to swoop over to the.
Seems like a good time to get a beer.
Right. Here we go. Straight in, top of the runners list. Here we are. Let's get that a little bigger so that we can see what we're dealing with here. There we go. Cool. Oh. That seems okay. Sure. This first card seems like a timing nightmare. Like a way of cashing out something that was getting you. Meh.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what this card why this card exists. I think it was designed with another card in mind.
Yeah. So, what, gain 7 though, right? What else gains you 7?
Well, nothing, but it's gain 7. It's netting you 5.
Yeah.
So it's better than a sure gamble, but you have to trash a resource to do it.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking if you had like a resource that was running out, right? Like it's the last turn that resource is going to give you something, whether that's card draw for the hotel, Earthview Hotel, or whether it's maybe something like daily casts. Like if it was daily casts and you're only going to get 2 out at the back end of it.
But that's okay. So let's have a look. Now that Sharon's back, we're looking at Isolation Sharon, and it's a 2-cost criminal anarch event that says, as an additional cost to play this event, trash an installed resource. If you do, gain 7.
Ooh.
So, if you reword that card, it is net 5 gain, unless you're dealing credits off a prepaid voice pad or something like that. But you're gaining 5 at the expense of trashing a resource. Now, what resources do you want to trash in order to play this card?
Verbal
Dave was suggesting maybe. Yeah. Dave was suggesting maybe we could do it on the last tick of an Earthrise or the last tick of a daily casts. But the last tick of a daily cast is worth 2, and you're going to have to give up those 2 in order to get the full benefit of this card. Similarly, on Earthrise, you're going to have to give up those last 2 card draws to get the benefit from this card.
Is this Hail Mary fuel? Is that what this is? Like
Could
you,
you use
you
this?
know that you're going in on your last turn. You're pretty sure you're going to score off of it, but you just don't have the cash to do so. So you trash something that you know you're not going to be using the next turn because there hopefully won't be any more turns. Is that the idea here? Maybe a Hail Mary play.
Or something like
Well-
Nano Etching Matrix?
This
Is
is a
that the
runner
name of it?
card,
Oh,
so
God, yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
the corp can't trash their own card like that. No, so possibly it could be seen as a Hail Mary card. Possibly if you were someone who could install things effectively for free, you could get benefit from that, which is what a character called Haley does. But Haley's a shaper, so she's unlikely to splash out
Uh-huh.
just for a money card because shapers have loads of money anyway.
Yeah.
Now, one possible use you could use to have with this card was an extremely popular, powerful card called crowdfunding. And crowdfunding installed itself for free clicklessly.
Oh wow.
And
Well,
yeah,
it gave you the click back, or
so what crowdfunding would say, you'll see crowdfunding on the ban list these days, but what it says is if you have made 3 successful runs in your previous turn and there is a copy of crowdfunding in your heap, you may reinstall it for free.
Yeah, gotcha.
And therefore you could then bring the crowdfundings back, take some of the benefits off it, and then if you wanted to, throw it away again using isolation, make
Because
3 runs,
Gotcha.
reinstall it back again, and away you go.
Right. Sure. That does
Which
seem
is-
like one particular combo and that's it, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that is the only time I've actually seen this card played doing something like that. And
Gotcha.
shortly thereafter, crowdfunding was placed on the ban list for being absolutely bonkers.
Sure.
Crowdfunding was a 3 influence card, and every faction played 3 of them. It was that good.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So that's why it had to go. And I think probably the use of this card went about the same time.
Sure. Cool. Well, in that case, let's leave it behind. Because
Speaking of cards that are very difficult to find a home for, here's
Ah.
Moshing. So
3 cards for your grip.
Oh.
The costs on these cards. What the hell?
one of
Oh,
the most
Okay.
played and successful cards in Anarch history was a card called Inject. And Inject said, turn over, reveal the top 4 cards of your heap.
Yeah.
If any of them are programs, throw them away and gain a credit for them. If they are not programs, add them to your hand. It was a really strong card.
Yeah.
It rotated out and it was replaced by Moshing, which says, as an additional cost to play this event, trash 3 cards from your grip. If you do so, draw 3 cards and gain 3 credits. So in terms of the effect you get from it, this is probably stronger. You're drawing 3 cards and you're gaining 3 credits. Great. But the fact you have to draw the cards beforehand so you can then play this to draw the next set of cards, it's almost a number with itself.
Yeah. So it would work okay with Steve Cambridge, right? Where you're trying to whack crap into your heap as fast as possible just so that you can make choices. Right? But then
Yeah,
you still need a card advantage of some sort in order to be able to play this dang
Yeah.
card. So yeah.
So the only deck this card has been played in is fairly recently. In Standard, there's been an Apocalypse Blue deck, and what that deck wants to do is to draw through its card as quick as it can.
Gotcha.
So this card saw play because you would draw, play this, draw 3 more, throw cards away. Who cares?
Sure.
Because you were looking for 1 or 2 key cards as quickly as possible.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I was doing today with my runner deck, but it just didn't work.
Was hunting for
No.
tails.
What we were doing was draw, install some memory that you didn't need, and then make a run against a server you couldn't afford to get into.
Huh.
That's not quite the same thing.
The idea was there. The implementation didn't quite work.
Sure.
Although it's not a bad idea, I don't think. Like screaming to the bottom of your deck as fast as you can, so that you've got all the good ones available.
The other cards that this kind of synergizes with is in the standard card pool. Anarchs have some cards called bin breakers, and bin breakers you throw away into your bin.
Right.
But when you encounter a piece of ice that needs them, they are summoned henceforth straight onto the board.
Sure.
For you to use. Therefore, if you can use this card to throw them away, that's potentially better for you than having to overdraw and then throw them away at the end of your turn.
Yep.
But as they're not in startup, I'm not sure how much you're going to see much of this card in startup.
Retrieval runs in the Anarch space, isn't it?
It is.
So there could be some argument for retrieving your moshing. But
well, you could, if you were playing your shenanigans type deck of femme fatales on the other day, you can mosh away some femme fatales to set up your retrieval run.
Yeah.
I guess. But now we're into combo wombo land again.
Perfect. Sounds pretty good to me. Cool. Okay. So
let's move on then to the precursor to Carnivore in a way, kind of. Yeah, this console is called Demolisher. It costs 4 to install, and it gives you a memory unit. And it has a 2-part ability. The trash cost of each corp card is lowered by 1. So that's a coffee cup in the corner. You can remove 1 from that value whilst you've got Demolisher installed.
Oh, I like it.
The second thing it says is the first time each turn you trash a corp card, you may gain 1. So that's a kind of like lose
ability, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's in a similar type of space of if you think you're going to be doing a lot of trashing, then there is some value to this card. But generally, it hasn't seen a lot of play since it came out.
Gotcha.
Because there hasn't been a meta where doing a lot of trashing has been your top priority necessarily.
Sure.
And there are also cards in alternative cards within Anarch and obviously within the wider card pool that offer better effect, such as the next card.
Okay. So wait, quickly, Demolisher's probably not as good because tempo is key at the moment, and the corp cards want to go fast, so there's nothing available to trash, right? That's kind of, I assume that's, yeah.
So if you're doing the sports metal style decks, you're not really installing anything. You're just playing a load of operations, unless you're using an imp or something like that, which allows you to trash cards through special abilities rather than through money. There's nothing there for you to trash.
Yeah, gotcha.
Gotcha. Now, if you were playing against a mirror pub list like the one that Sharon played a couple of weeks back, and there are lots of naked assets on the board, well, this is saving you or sort of net saving you 2 credits every time you trash one. So in that type of meta, it might find its place, but
would have been
we've not seen it
heartbreaking
this
if that had
far.
happened.
Yeah, just
I
running
suppose
rapid through them.
It's a possibility in the startup card pool of combining it with Lou, and then the first time you trash a card each turn, you would gain 2 and draw a card. That would be pretty sweet.
And it would be cheaper to trash as well, so you'd be, breaking stuff for free. So that would be pretty cool. But then, sorry, I moved us away from Keiko.
So, Keiko belongs to the Anarch Runner, which we're going to see shortly. And so I'll save that for when we get to it. But let's just look at it without that knowledge in advance.
Sure.
It's only 3 credits to install, and it gains you 2 memory units. So straight off the bat, that is a saving of installing 2 dozens or 2 memory diamonds. So if you're only installing it from a memory perspective, it's very efficient. But it also has the ability of the first time each turn you spend credits from or install a companion, and companion cards are something we'll look at shortly, you gain a credit. So, as you'll see from when we look at companion cards shortly, companion cards are great, and you want to be using them all the time. And then each time you use one, Keiko gets you an extra credit.
Cool.
And it takes care of all your memory issues. So, since this card came out, pretty much every Anarch list have been running Keiko and the companions to some degree or another.
Dave, I played a few runners who had companions in, and they were just piling on the cash. They just had it was ridiculously good. I almost wish I'd got a pen and pencil out and noted the cards that were being played against me.
Okay,
you'll have a chance to see them all soon because they're all in the Ashes cycle.
Excellent.
Joy of joys.
Okay, so let's march on towards them then.
Devil
Yeah, we've got to do the hard. Got to get. They're all resources, so we have to get through the hardware first.
Gotcha.
So this piece of hardware is called Devil Charm. It's a chip, really important, but it's occasionally. 1 to install, and it says, whenever you encounter a piece of ice, you may remove this hardware from the game. If you do, the ice gets -6 strength for the remainder of the run.
Sure.
So if Sharon had a Devil Charm installed in that last game, and then face planted into a tier, well, it would have only cost 3 credits to break with Guardian Blade rather than the 10 million or something, which we didn't have.
Or whatever it was, yeah.
So it can be a big cost saving, and it also then opens up combos with other cards that are relevant to the strength of a piece of ice. I don't think they're in the startup card pool. In fact, they're not. But there are things like Chisel, which works based on the strength of a piece of ice. So therefore, significantly reducing the strength of a piece of ice gives you a massive advantage. But you don't need to worry about that for startup.
Cool. Okay, next up
we have Gachapon. So a Gachapon, if you don't know, but you might be able to guess from the illustration, is one of these sort of mystery prize machines that you put 50p in, and you'll get a plastic ball out of, and then in that plastic ball there'll be some sort of toy or trinket or otherwise that might be a collectible, or it might be for kids to play with or whatever. It's a Gachapon machine, apparently. And what it does is quite an unusual effect. So, first of all, you install it. That costs you 0. But Then its ability is a trash effect. And trash effects are paid abilities. For, as we talked about with Project Vitruvius in the last game, anytime there is a paid ability window, you can fire Gashapon, which obviously opens it up to being used at weird times and different shenanigans and what have you. When you fire Gashapon, you set aside the top 6 cards of your stack. From those cards, you may choose a program or a virtual resource and install it, paying 2 credits less than you would do otherwise. At this point, then, you've got 5 or 6 cards in hand, or set aside. You can choose 3 of them to shuffle back into your stack, but the other 2 or 3 you must then remove from the game entirely. You're never going to get to play with them.
Yep.
So basically, you're taking a gamble that you will draw a program or a virtual resource in your next 6 cards. If you get lucky and find one, you can install it for 2 credits less. But the price for paying is that you have to remove from the game at least 2 of those cards.
So would this be a situation where if you were going to build a deck which had Gashapon in it, you'd want to perhaps have 2 or 3 extra cards just popped into your deck size?
No, you
Absolutely
definitely
not.
wouldn't.
No.
The opposite, in fact. So you've got to remember that if it hits your heap...
I'm just trying to justify my bad choices, Dave.
Sorry, it's not going to protect you on this occasion. You've got to remember that if you're putting it in your heap, chances are it's gone from the game anyway, right? So that's of no consequence. 2 cards RFG is the same as 2 cards in your heap that you wouldn't get to touch again anyhow, unless you're playing some sort of recursive play from your heap deck. That doesn't matter. That's still sift the top 6 cards of your deck, keep 1, right, and then put 3 back into the deck and 3, so 2 out of it. That sounds great. Like later on in the game, that's cool because you get rid of cards you don't want. Early on in the game, it lets you hunt for something within a stack of cards the size of your hand. That seems really strong, Gashapon.
It's pretty good, and. As I touched on earlier, the fact that you can fire this off at any time opens it up for weird shenanigans. So one of the most effective uses I've seen of this card recently was against a Haspyroid Fast Advance deck.
Sure.
And when Haspyroid wanted to use a Biotic Labour or some other nefarious means to try and score an agenda directly from their hand, Gachapon was fired to find a clot, and then clot was installed for 2 less, which is 0,
Free.
And that then installs them from prevents them from scoring it on that turn.
Yep.
So you can run in and steal it. Then you can do further shenanigans to get it. Once the court purges, presumably because they want to try and do that again, you can do shenanigans to get the clot back into your deck, install the Gachapon, and dare them to do it again. So even if you're not using it for its intended use of drawing your cards and filtering your deck, you can slot it into niche uses like that as well, if you think that's worthwhile within the current meta.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Cool. Okay,
now we're moving on to the poster child, probably of the Ashes cycle, and now of the Anarch faction. So, once upon a time, if you were building a reg Anarch deck, as we called them, just all the good Anarch cards, you would usually put it into the Valencia ID, or in certain circumstances, if it lent itself to it, you would put it in Max. And that was basically it. No other Anarch IDs ever saw any play. Until Hashiko came along and has kind of made Valencia redundant now. So Valencia is still legal in Standard, but she just doesn't see any play anymore. Nearly all Anarchs now, their default lists are in Hashiko. So let's have a look at what Hashiko does. She says, when your turn ends, if you accessed at least one card this turn, then you may gain 2 credits and flip the identity. That's right, it's a reversible card.
Cool.
On the back of the card, it says, when your turn begins, you must draw 1 card and lose 1 credit. So you lose one of the credits that you've just gained on the flipping turn. So you're only actually netting 1 from that transaction, but the trade-off then is you're drawing a card.
It's not too bad.
If you're using Hashiko effectively, essentially at the start of every turn, you're either getting a free credit or a free card draw.
Yeah.
And that is why she's been so popular. Oh, I should add that the last bit of the ability is, on the flip side, when your turn ends, if you did not access a card this turn, flip your identity back.
Really good.
So that's how you get the constant flipping effect. I will access 1, so I will gain 2 credits. I will access 1, I will not access 1, so I will draw a card. Gain 2 credits, draw a card. Gain 2 credits, draw a card.
Yep.
And it's really strong. And one of the other things that will become relevant at some point is when she's on her flip side, her identity type switches from natural to digital.
Ooh!
Right.
And she gains a link. Because what is happening here is this side that you can see is her real world self persona, but when she's logged on, when she's in the digital realm, she completely transforms, and that's why her ability changes.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so
Very cool.
very fun to play with, interesting to play against, good identity.
Yeah.
Now, Chisel.
Now here's a card I just said wasn't in the card pool, and shows how much I know about the card pool.
And that confused me because I'd played against it before, and I was like,
So Chisel, aka Toblerone,
Yeah.
Toblerone.
It's like a Toblerone.
is a 2-strength program. Install only on a piece of ice. Doesn't have to be rest, but can be, should be probably. And it says the host ice has -1 strength for each hosted virus counter.
Uh-huh.
And then, whenever you encounter the host ice, if its strength is 0 or less, you may trash it. Otherwise, you place 1 virus counter on this program, and then you encounter it as normal.
Gotcha.
So, at its worst, it is making the piece of ice you're encountering weaker, therefore it's cheaper for you to break. But if you carry on encountering it, you'll keep making it weaker and weaker until it gets down to 0, and then that ice will trash itself. And the ice will go in the corpse archives, and the chisel will go in your heap. But if you combo this with Devil Charm,
sure. Oh,
Devil Charm.
Oh yeah, -6 from an RFG.
-6 strength. So nearly every piece of ice, not tier, but nearly every piece of ice, if you install a chisel on it, and then you have a devil charm installed, as soon as that ice is rezzed, you can pop devil charm, reduce the strength by 6, it will hit 0, and it will trash, which essentially makes the ice unrezzable in that situation.
Yep. You could also combo it with what's the virus that ticks up of its own accord and gives -1 strength. Am I misremembering ice? Hang on, I might be.
Are you thinking of Botulus? No.
The leeches allow you to reduce strength by using the virus tokens, yes.
Okay, yeah. That's right. It's not a natural thing, it's use the tokens. Can you do that on encounter?
The trouble with leech and chisel do not combo.
No.
Because you encounter the ice, then you check if chisel can trash it.
Yeah.
And then you can use leech counters to reduce the strength.
That's when your
which
window
is the
goes.
wrong way round.
Yeah.
But you can use your leech counters in the same encounter if you want to just reduce the strength down to a even lower number, for sure.
Sure, yeah. Cool. Cool.
Okay, then we move on to what has probably been the strongest card in this set since it was released. Certainly one of, if not the strongest. This is Stargate. Stargate is a 4-cost program that takes up 2 memory units.
Yep.
And when you click it, you make a Stargate run in the similar way you would make a Conduit run with Conduit.
Yep.
When you make a Stargate run, if successful, you don't access cards. You reveal the top 3 cards of R&D, and you trash one of them.
Whether it's got a cost on it or not for trashing it, you just trash it.
Exactly right.
Blech.
Are you allowed to trash agendas, and what happens when you do?
Yes, they go into archives.
Go into archives?
Okay, so that's
So
pretty sweet.
there are many things you can do with Stargate. So you can see an agenda in the top 3 cards. You can trash that agenda, and then you can run to archives, usually lightly defended, if defended at all, and steal that agenda. If it is a Project Vacheron that would normally get 3 counters on it,
you've got it out of
or 4
archives.
counters on it, getting it out of archives doesn't get any counters on it.
Rude.
Fab.
Extremely.
Cool.
You can use it if you've used, say, chisel or whatever else to trash a piece of ice, and the corp is now looking for a piece of ice to replace it. You can just trash the ice instead, and leave them drawing economy cards or assets that they can't do anything with because they've got no ice to hide it behind.
Yeah.
You can do really nasty things like see the 3 cards, and the 3 cards remain in the order that you see them, and maybe you see a piece of ice on top, an agenda underneath, and then whatever, a hedge fund. You trash that piece of ice because you don't want the corp to be able to reinforce R&D, and on your next click, you run back on R&D, and you steal the agenda that you've now left on top.
Ah, yeah, of course. God, there's a lot of
Nice.
shenanigans with Stargate. Seems pretty
There's
good.
a lot of stuff you can do with Stargate.
Mm.
One of its drawbacks is supposed to be that it takes up 2 memory units, but luckily you've got Kiko that gives you 2 extra ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not even a concern.
That's pretty cool.
I've just got to turn the fan on.
I'm a fan of Stargate, I think. That seems pretty
And
strong.
then, if you are a world champion quality player, and as a former world champion, Pinsel champion in one particular event. I think it was German national championship, something like that. You can use a card that will come on to later, a shaper card called Simulchip, which means you can use a Stargate to get your one trash per turn, then Simulchip your Stargate, that says trash an installed program in order to reinstall a program from your heap, and then you go and Stargate again.
Do it again. 2 Stargates in a turn.
That is what the good player, the type of player that better players than me come up with. I mean, I just claim it as my own knowledge.
Sure. Yeah, that's pretty strong. That is.
Feeling that both of us are going to have this in our deck.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Ooh. Every time you use it, you can
Chevron
say Chevron
7
locks.
Where's my DHD? It would be incredible if there was a DHD card in here, Mark. Is that?
I'm assuming this is a reference to either the film or the show, but I'm not familiar with.
To both. To operate the Stargate device, you need a dial home device to lock the chevrons in. Yeah, unless you're on Earth, in which case you use a big old piece of electronics to do it instead.
They may have slipped in an additional reference that I'm not familiar with, but I'm afraid I'm not aware of one.
That'd be pretty tight. Cool. Okay, yeah, sure. Stargate. I guess we'll be seeing that next week.
Then we go on to cards we probably won't see next week.
Oh.
This is Ute. Ute is a decoder.
Yeah.
Only 2 to install, so nice and cheap. But says it is 1 strength, and you must pay a credit to pump it up 1 strength. And then it has some very weird rules for actually breaking the subroutines. So you may pay X to break X Codegate subroutines, but you can only do that once per turn.
Right.
Is that regardless of strength?
No, you still have to interface with it as normal.
Yeah.
So if you were breaking, a funhouse, you would have to pay 4 to get it up to strength, and then pay X to break the subroutine.
Gotcha.
Then it has the more normal, pay 1 credit to break a Codegate subroutine, but you can only use this if you have 3 or more installed virtual resources.
Sure. So you have to be a big spender to get it to work like a normal icebreaker. Otherwise, you can only use it once per turn. So if you make 1 run,
Once per run, not once per turn.
Oh, per run. Okay, so if you're making a run and you see two code gates, you're kind of humped because you can only use this once in that run, unless you've spanked cash for different things elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
is it really that good?
It's not. It absolutely isn't. I don't think it's seen any competitive play in any format since it was released.
No, it's because it's kind of poo.
It's what it's trying. Well, part of it is that Anarch's supposed to have bad decoders because of the colour pie.
Okay.
The other part of it is, it's supposed to be a reasonable cheap option if you're prepared. If your deck is going to have 3 or more virtual resources in it. Now, building a deck with multiple virtual resources in it is not hard. So, as we'll see, particularly as we'll see in a second. So, if you're going to have multiple virtual resources anyway, and you don't think code gates are a big part of the meta, then maybe there's a bit of a niche for it, but like I say, it's never really seen play at all.
Yeah, it starts a bit weak for this to be in any way something you'd want to actually activate, because you don't really want this damn thing anyway. Like if that was stronger, then you might jump through the hoops in order to get it to work, but it doesn't seem worth jumping through the hoops to get it to work properly.
And especially now you know in the startup card pool it's against Buzzsaw, and Buzzsaw is breaking 2 subroutines for 1 credit if you can match the strength.
Yep.
It's I think Buzzsaw is a much better card, but it exists, so
Definitely. Sure.
you need to know about it.
So what's next? Adore.
Now we've got another weird breaker. It's Adore or Adore, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. This card was fantastic. This card was playable in the old meta, which had a card called Tour Guide in it. And Tour Guide was a piece of ice that had potentially unlimited subroutines on it.
Oh wow!
It gained a subroutine for every rezzed asset you had.
Wow.
So if you imagine a Near Earth Hub deck or some of the whatchamacallums, Haspyroid type assets we saw last week from Mirrormorph,
Yeah.
it would not be unusual to see a tour guide with 8 or 10 subroutines on it.
Yup.
Now this, as you can see on its second ability, allows you to break Sentry subroutines for free.
Sure.
Which is a significant advantage when you've got to break 10 of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But since Tour Guide rotated out of the meta, I don't think this card has seen any play.
Gotcha.
Or not much at least. Just to go back to basics, it's 4 to install, takes up 1 MU, starts off at 0 strength, which is quite a small number, and then you have to pay 3 credits to boost it up to 3 strength.
Yep.
As well as that, if you don't have your 3 installed virtual resources, you then have to pay 2 credits to break any number of subroutines. So that's not bad.
Sure.
2 to break 10 is still okay,
Yeah.
but 2 to break 2 is only okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
it's not awful. It has somewhat niche applications. If you're facing, say, an archer that has 4 subroutines on it, being able to break them for 2 credits once you've matched strength, or to break them for no credits once you've matched strength, is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that 0 strength really holds it back.
Yeah.
So unless you can combine it with some leeches or maybe some devil charms to get that strength down, you're still going to end up paying a lot of money to use it.
Seems like a bit of a targeted counter card. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the end of the programs. We then go into the long-awaited resources. This is the exciting stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
Not this one, though, because this is rubbish.
Just about to open a beer to celebrate, Mark.
So, in the Ashes cycle, one of the things that they did was bring out new versions of old characters. So they chose 3 of the most iconic runners from Anarch, Criminal, and Shaper that had rotated out of the game, and they brought them back as a resource, as a connection, someone you can go and talk to with your runner.
Cool.
And of those 3 characters they brought back, Andromeda became the class act and became a class card that everyone wants to play. Kate became the artist and became a rather niche card that very few people wanted to play. And Noise became the Nihilist, a terrible card that nobody wanted to play.
Oh, okay.
So poor old Noise is the takeaway from that. What the Nihilist says is you pay 4 credits to install them, first of all, and then the first time each turn you install a virus program, you can place 2 virus counters on the Nihilist. Then, when your turn begins, you may remove any 2 virus counters from any installed cards. If you do, you can draw 2 cards for free, unless the corp trashes the top card of R&D.
Okay.
Now, that's a lot of ifs, buts, and coconuts.
It is. It seems a little
Expensive.
yeah, like it feels like maybe what you're trying to do there is balance out and try and prevent the corp from feeling tempted to purge by removing some of your advantage, but you hate that. So for a tranquilizer, that's no real effect, right? Like if you've got a tranquilizer down, it's accruing +1 counter that does nothing more once it's past that 3. So that's sort of usable, but I can't
You've got to
think of
pay 4
anything.
to install it, which is a
Yeah,
lot.
I still can't think.
By
I can't think of
tempo.
anything else. Yeah.
Then you've got to have other viruses in play, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
not unusual for Anarchs, but as you say, you're other than a tranquilizer on 1,000,000 tokens,
Yeah.
normally you want those tokens for something. If you sacrifice 2 of those tokens, you might get an effect. But if the corp is concerned by you being able to draw cards so quickly, they can just trash a card to mean that you've got nothing for those 2 tokens.
So it's not quite just trashing a card for the corp, though, is it? It's trashing an unseen card from the top of R&D, right? Which means
Correct.
placing a card into archives that could well be an agenda.
Or a snare.
True.
Yeah. It could get rid of, and sorry, I think I've started my think around this card halfway through, explaining where I was going with thinking, because prior to that I was like, well, okay, so it appears to be right. The nihilist, the flavour here is you're headed towards nothing, and the corp loses when they hit no cards in deck, right? So what this does is it means that every turn potentially you're forcing the corp to automatically draw on your turns, or mill their deck, reduce their deck size by 1 on your turns as well as theirs. And then I was like, but honestly, I don't think you go through half of your cards in most games. Like our last game lasted 17 turns, so that was even if the corp had been drawing or milling 1 card every turn, they still wouldn't have. They're still not, just over halfway through their deck at most. Like this doesn't seem like it punishes enough for what it costs in any way.
Needs to basically be a part of a deck that is trying to mill out the corp in that sense.
Yeah.
So then you're going to also need to be playing cards like Stargate and maybe cards like Imp, so that you can be constantly trashing things to give the corp nothing to play with. But it's just not that easy in practice.
No.
So
Yeah.
you've invested a lot of credits and a lot of build around to try and get this working, and it's just really not doing anything for you.
It's the type of stupid card play I'd normally go for, Mark.
Ha!
I mean,
5 influence.
by all means, experiment with it. See if you can come up with some niche applications.
I really can't see any. I'm not going to have it.
It's interesting that you mentioned Tranquilizer, though, because Tranquilizer is the 1 card now that probably gets more virus tokens than it needs.
Yeah.
So you are going to create a surplus. You can potentially create a surplus of virus tokens doing that. But of course, you've got to have found and installed your tranquilizer and found your nihilist and installed, pay the 4 credits for it before you can start getting any value from it.
Sure. Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
that sense, you're putting the investment in to get card draw. You've probably drawn all the cards you need in order to get to that stage.
Yeah. You're kind of enabling your rush to the bottom as long as cards are getting tranquilized. 2 cards a turn, and you're not paying for this out of virus counters anymore. But yeah, you'd need 2 tranquilizers down to make this worth it, and even then, it's not worth it. Like maybe for 4 coins, you're turning your over tranquilization into something, but who cares? It's not good enough. It's not good enough, and you're not going to play it in another deck because it's 5 influence, and that's poo.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Well, it's not good enough to go into another deck either. Yeah, maybe there is some niche use for it that's really cunning. Maybe I'll have a look at it.
But until then, let's play with better cards.
Yes.
So these are the companions. Thematically speaking, they are Hashiro's digital friends.
Love
And
it.
they are all animals, and they are all themed around your compatriots or party members in your favourite dungeon-based game.
Sure.
So
The narwhal, my favourite class in D&D.
yes, of course. You start off with Fencer for Wayno. Fencer for Wayno says, it's 0 to install. When your turn begins, or when you steal an agenda, place 1 credit on Fencer for Wayno. Whenever you make a successful run, you may spend any of the credits on Fencer for Wayno after that. Now, what the heck does that mean?
For the remainder of that run.
If you've accessed a card that has a trash cost,
Yep.
you can use those credits to pay that trash cost. If you've accessed a card, which we will see when we get to the MBN section, that makes you pay to steal it, you can use Fencer for Wayno to pay those credits for stealing.
Pantograph happens in between success declaration and end of run, right? So that a pantograph install would work with Fencer Fueno, wouldn't it? Although that's free. Oh no, it's not.
If you've stolen agenda, Pantograph fires, and then you could use the credits on Fencer Fueno. Yes, I think so.
Yep.
I haven't seen that interaction, but I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Cool.
So various things like that. What it doesn't do, much to the disappointment of everyone when the new cards came out, you cannot use this to pay the credit for a Managam Skunkwork.
What?
Card.
Yeah, that happens before.
Managam Skunkwork fires before
Oh.
success.
Yeah.
So you haven't made a successful run, so you can't use Fencer Fueno.
Yeah.
Now, if you pay the 5 credits out of your credit pool, you may make the run successful. You could then use Fencer Fueno credits to trash the Skunk Works, but it's not as useful as it may have first appeared.
Yeah. Plus his extra
And-
cost at the end is a pain.
Well, each of the companions comes the drawback as well. So,
Gotcha.
when your turn ends, if there are 3 or more hosted credits on Fencer Fueno, you must pay a credit tax, or you must trash them.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
And so it's kind of, if you want to keep building up this unlimited supply of credits you can only use at the end of the run, you have to give up a real credit to keep doing it,
Yeah.
which is generally not worth it.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah.
you really want to be using, installing it when you think you're going to have a use for it. So if you've got, if you're against a asset-heavy deck, you're going to be using Fence of Bueno a lot, no problem. If you're against a Glacier deck, it's like, do I think I'm going to be in? Do I sort of try and time this? Do I build up enough credit that they're going to be useful when I'm trashing a couple of upgrades, like a Skunk Works or a San Francisco Grid or something like that? Or do I just decide that it's not going to be worth it in this matchup and throw it away?
Cool.
Before all that, in terms of a trade-off, you've got to decide, do I put Fence of Fuego in my deck, or do I put Scrubber in my deck? Scrubber costs 2 to install,
Yeah.
but gives you 2 credits to use every turn,
Yeah.
and has no restrictions to it.
Yeah.
Fence of Fuego costs nothing to install, can potentially have unlimited cards on it, but is fiddly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. So he's a bit of a
And-
balancing act.
Because of a companion, the first time you use them each turn, you kick Keiko fires.
Of course. Of course. Which is pretty cool.
Now, your next companion is Trickster Attacker,
Aha.
and they help you make runs. So when your turn begins, or when you steal an agenda, place 1 credit on Trickster Attacker. Spend hosted credits to use programs critically, not to do what you want, to use programs during runs.
Spend it on your icebreakers.
I mean, that
Spend it on
seems
your
pretty,
icebreakers.
pretty good.
It is pretty good. But when your turn ends, if there are 3 or more hosted credits on Trickster Attacker, you either have to trash it or take a tag.
Nice. Okay, cool. So even they accept that Fence of Fueno's ability might be a bit pants. So his downside is a lot less painful than Trickster Attacker, who is the one tag or trash the resource. Yeah, okay.
Now, as Tenacious has just pointed out in chat, the other thing that Trickster Attacker does is that their credits are stealth credits.
Oh.
Now, we haven't looked at stealth credits yet because it doesn't really make a difference in the... it hasn't made a difference in the card pool thus far.
Gotcha.
It may make a difference as we move into the wider card pool, because there are certain cards that will only work using stealth credits.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you spend Bitcoin on it, you can't spend real money on it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a really good
usually-
way of explaining it, Dave.
Money you can't
Usually,
buy.
cards that require stealth credits have much stronger effect than normal programs,
I see.
because that's a trade-off, that your supply of them is a lot more limited than just normal credits.
'Cause you
In the
have to...
standard card pool,
Yeah.
there is a runner called Smoke, and her whole thing is stealth credits.
Gotcha.
And you will sometimes see just whole breaker suites around using stealth programs, but they've never really been that strong. Sure, she's won some events down the way, but she's never been considered a defining part of the meta.
Cool.
Then we take a brief break from companions to look at Climactic Showdown. Climactic Showdown is a weird card. It's a resort. It costs 2 to install. But what it says is, when your turn begins, remove this resource from the game. Not, you may remove this resource from the game.
It just fires.
The turn after you install it, you must remove it from the game.
Yep.
Then when you do it, you choose a server protected by ice. The corp then decides whether they will trash a piece of ice protecting that server or not. If they don't, the first time this turn you access cards from R&D or HQ, you get to access 2 extra ones. So
Wow.
it turns into a one-use
Make
legwork or Maker's Eye, except the corp can cancel it by trashing a piece of ice.
Okay.
It seems like it would be very useful in a very, very specific situation.
Oh no, wait. It combos with Maker's Eye and the other one, right? Access to additional cards the first time. So you could set this up turn 1, and then turn 2 you make a Maker's Eye run with Climactic Showdown hanging over their head. So they've got a choice to either trash a piece of ice or have a 5-card access potentially coming at them.
Yeah, that's true. Or if you also... Oh, no, you have to do a Conduit run, can't you? It's not Conduit and Maker's Eye.
No, but you could do a Conduit
You
run
could
with
do a
this.
Conduit Climactic Showdown, yes.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
It
And-
has seen some play. It has an interesting effect, but you have to jump through a lot of hoops for it to do something.
Yeah.
So that whole bit about choose an iced server, and the corp may trash a piece of ice to do that. It's like, well, at
Sure.
what point are you set up enough that as a runner that you can do all this, that the corp isn't set up enough that they would have multiple multiple pieces of ice on multiple servers, and they can trash one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you catch someone playing not many ice, sure, maybe. It's a weird card.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Interesting. I feel like there
It's
could
like-
be something there.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's interesting what you say. It's like we want to put a Maker's Eye and Legwork E type effect in Anarch, but because that's not the thing, We'll
durdle it. Yeah.
make it really weird and awkward to use.
Yeah, we'll durdle it hard, and then we'll make it so that you can't combo it with itself as well. So you're not offsetting cost next turn for cost this turn. It's, yeah, weird, cool, but weird.
And then we finish with the 2 most played companions.
Gotcha.
So next up, we've got Paladin Poemu. 1 to install. When your turn begins, or you steal an agenda, place 1 on this resource. Spend your hosted credits to install any card that isn't a connection.
Oh.
So you can't install the Nihilist, unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
because they're a connection.
Oh no.
But nearly any other card, other resources, hardware, programs, you can install them with the credits of Paladin Poemu.
Gotcha.
Pretty good.
However,
Ah.
when your turn ends, if there are 3 or more credits on it, you must trash one of your installed cards.
Which
Could you just
be
trash Paladin? Hello.
You can indeed.
Poemu.
And that's why it doesn't say you must do this or trash Paladin, because that's already satisfied in what it says.
Yeah. Yup. Sure. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Find them early. Make make the first install you do every turn cheaper.
Yeah.
Very useful.
Very useful. That's pretty
It's
cool.
like DZMZ that you can use in any card type.
And if you don't use it one turn, well, now you got 2 credits for the next turn when your card draw does come up trumps for you.
Oh
Cool.
yes, and it's a companion. So not only do you save that credit, you get a credit back off Kiko.
Yep. Of course. Nonsense.
That is good. That is good.
Holy cow.
That's why those blasted runners had so much money. It seems like, and I know we've got one more card to go, but it seems like you still have to really pay attention and plan out not just the move that the turn you're taking, but 1 or 2 turns in the future as well.
Yeah.
To an extent, but I mean that's just good to do anyway. You know, one of the things I've been critical for you of, and I'm not just having a go. It's just as an example. You just keep installing memory cards all the time. No,
they just keep coming up, Mark, and I'm so reluctant to throw things away. I know I should just bin them.
Throw them away.
I know it.
Bin everything.
For the cost.
Yeah.
You've got to have a plan that says, like, I want to be able to challenge that remote or play this Maker's Eye in 2 turns or 3 turns. How am I going to get there? I'm not going to get there by spending money on click, installing cards that I don't need. You've got that part of the sort of the discipline and the experience to say, right, what is my game plan here? It's not just building up a nice board. It means I'm going to play this event before it's too expensive for me to play it, or whilst the co-op got no money. I'm going to challenge that remote while to put the co-op in a fork to make them choose whether they can either defend one or the other. They can't defend both. Net installer is not a game. Netrunner is the game.
We're learning. I'm learning. I know that. Logically, I know that. Emotionally, I just get too excited playing.
Yeah, I make similar mistakes, but mine are not. I'm building up a turtley little house. Mine are. I want to use all my cards right now, please. And so I throw away all of my accrued resources for no good reason.
Isn't yours? I want to reuse all my cards multiple times right now, please.
Yeah, and it'll cost me too much, and I'll get super excited about it, and I'll have a turn where I effectively do, if you look at it, nothing. But it's taken me 6 cards to do it and 14 clicks, and I've achieved naught. Right? Like that's I think that's my biggest like falling down with getting excited about making a combo happen is sometimes the combos don't do anything unless you've got something to combo into, and yeah, I keep making that mistake. That's my biggest one I think so far. Yeah. There are a lot of easy pitfalls to get yourself lost in. So yeah, we've both got things to learn. I think we've both got to control ourselves. Yeah,
yeah, that's it. It's the control.
Control ourselves. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we're on the last card.
Yeah. So last of the companions. It's Mystic Meg. It's not Mystic Meg. It's Mystic Mamie. And Mystic Mamie is a word I cannot say, an axolotl.
Axolotl?
Yes, indeed.
Axolotl, yeah.
Takes a lot of bottle.
A classic wizard axolotl, and the last one was, well, my guess is some form of cleric / paladin. Oh, yeah, he's a paladin. Sure, yeah. Skunk? Weasel?
So
perhaps.
cute.
Yeah, sure.
Ferret?
Yeah, a paladin ferret, and then finally, yeah, your wizard axolotl, a classic D&D party. Yeah.
Mystic Mamie is like the good version of prepaid voice pad.
Yeah.
So obviously it'll go on a Sharon deck because Sharon keeps putting prepaid voice pad in everything.
Prepaid voice pad when it comes out.
It's rubbish. You're right. Yeah. When your turn begins or when you steal an agenda, place 1 credit on Mystic Mamie. Spend hosted credits to play events. When your turn ends, if there are 3 or more credits, either trash Mystic Mamie or trash a card from your grip at random.
Oh.
Essentially taking net damage.
What? Or trash this resource or trash this resource. Okay, so it's only because Paladin Poemu can trash himself with one installed card that he doesn't say that. Cool. All the others do allow you to get out of jail, and you're not locked into a timeshare that you never really wanted to be part of. Cool. Especially this one could be really, truly brutal if you're struggling to draw stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. The drawbacks are there to limit them and to potentially, if things don't go your way, you have to get rid of them.
Yeah.
But letting this tick up to 3 credits and then playing a sure gamble for 2 credits, netting you 7, is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Being able to spend these credits on bloody money cards would be brilliant.
This is, I mean, this seems pretty strong. Like Mystic Mamie would just allow you to cycle your cards as long as you're drawing, right? He just allows you to play your event as soon as you got him, right? Like even if
He
you
or
tick
she?
him up, or she,
Or they?
they, Mamie.
Let's just stick with they, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, as interesting cards go, it's quite cool because you could run Hellbent, so you could go for 0 cards in hand and chance your arm with clearing houses, but every time you drew an event, you'd just get to freebie it, right? Just chuck that out there.
I mean, it just makes all your events more efficient.
Yeah.
So, and if you've got, assuming you're going to have multiple events in your deck, you're going to have sure gambles, of course. You might have dirty laundries.
Yeah.
If you're running a legwork or a maker's eye to try and get the multiple accesses, you're playing them for cheaper.
Yep. Yeah.
If you going back to paladins, you're installing your daily casts for cheaper. You're installing your liberated accounts for cheaper. You're installing your you're installing your Mystic Mamies for cheaper.
Yeah, and sure, Mystic Mamie is a 1 out at a time kind of thing, right? So it's not terrible if you end up drawing another Mystic Mamie. You can always trash that to this Mystic Mamie to keep more money on him. Yeah.
So the Paladin has seen a lot of play. It's a very popular card since it came out, sometimes even out of faction.
Understandable.
Mystic and Trickster have seen a fair amount of play. Trickster probably slightly more so because it's universally applicable, even if you're not bothered about the credits being stealth credit.
Yeah.
Just having this ticking resource of credits to use during runs is great. Mystic Name It gets you some value if you've got enough events in your deck to make it worthwhile. And then Fencer is pretty niche, but can be fun to have in there anyway.
You're not paying a lot for him anyway, so yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
So then, of course, any cards like Adore that want you to have 3 virtual resources in play, all companions are virtual. So if you're going to get all them on the table, then suddenly it makes Adore seem better.
Yeah. Gotcha. And of course, all of them are kicking off the.
And all of them are making your credits have Keiko.
You could use Trickster to. Is it Trickster to fund increasing the strength on Adore?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I think I'll be concentrating on my runner deck first.
Cool. So you could start bumping up. You could get a paladin out before you've got the Keiko. Use the paladin to install Keiko and still get the +1. Because wait, does Keiko count itself for installing a? It does. Cool. So you get.
So essentially, it costs 2 to install rather than 3.
It costs 2. You get cash back. That's pretty cool. 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 Yeah. Excellent.
That concludes all of the Anarch cards that are available in the startup card pool.
Excellent.
Love it. So, Anarch run a deck next week. Doesn't
Yep.
have to be. Oh, who's the lady we learnt about at the beginning? Doesn't have to be
Hoshiko.
with Hoshiko.
There she goes.
You have got the choice of Hoshiko,
Loop.
Quetzal, Lou, or
Lou.
Reyna.
Cool.
Obviously, it's not going to be Quetzal because nobody ever plays Quetzal. But
It's a
you've
cool
got a choice-
name.
Yeah.
But you've got a choice of Lou, Hashiko, or Reyna.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Lots of companions to play with,
Mhm.
some new shenanigans to do in terms of ice destruction and ice strength manipulation, and a few more general toys and tools to see if they might be of use to you.
Yep, to smash about. And as far as creating a corp deck goes, don't create one from scratch. Take one of our old ones that could do with some polishing,
Sprucing up.
and then start polishing the heck out of it.
Now,
Cool.
are we still restricted to? We've got all of System Gateway and System Update 2021, and then only the Hasparoid cards for the Corp deck
From startup,
updates.
from Ashes, yeah.
Only HB and only Anarchs for the.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Righty
Cool.
tighty. I've got to admit, I think I made an error in my runner deck today. I think I included a card from a different faction Ashes set.
Oh, you definitely did. Yeah, we all saw it.
Sorry
But
about
it's
that, Dave.
Self-modifying.
Hey, no,
Didn't
it's
make
okay.
a difference.
No, I don't mind.
Did you even notice?
Yeah, but it didn't really matter. I at first when I saw it, I was like, oh, I don't remember this, but that was because I could never have remembered it, having not seen it before. Yep.
I am sorry. That was,
No, that's okay. That's okay. It didn't. I mean, it was a card, right? It wasn't going to make a huge difference on its Todd. So.
If only there was a way of trimming cards and down and still playing a legal deck. It was,
There are many things to learn. Another case of building a deck just before we start streaming, or tweaking it.
Yeah, admittedly, before we began.
Implies or making something better.
Well,
You're
before
right,
we
I should
began,
have just stuck with the old one.
it did get improved, didn't it? By 6 cards, nearly. It got.
From what
it
I
got
could tell,
narrowed down.
this kit deck was the same kit deck that had all those kit problems a couple of weeks ago, but then had
Remember a couple
mysteriously
of weeks ago.
developed a Femme Fatale and a Theodore Beta. It's like,
It's because I had the
okay.
self-modifying code.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Self-modifying. Oh, it's whatever I want, as I need it. Sure, okay.
You misread it as self-modifying rules.
It was useless. Useless.
Well, you put it in play and then you immediately went, no, sorry, undo click. Changed your idea for something else, I think. I was looking
Had a
forward
crisis
to
of
seeing
conscience.
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing.
So, if
what
anything,
was been
Dave, it
hunting for.
punished me.
Yeah, sure. It was just in your hand without being used in the end, I think. Yeah.
Right, I've removed that just because.
Cool. Oh, you've already started to make your deck. Excellent.
No, just making it Team Squared legal.
Sure. Cool. Okay. Well.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to start building.
Yeah, we've nearly
Okay,
hit 11 o'clock.
That's your homework for next week, and we'll be back with more games and more cards from the Ashes cycle. One of the corps to be confirmed. Which one we do next?
Ooh, surprise corp.
Swing
Cool.
over to the corps again.
Cool.
Awesome. This has been lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much to everyone who's joined us again this evening. Hope you've had a laugh, if not learned anything. We'll see you all on YouTube in the future.
Au revoir.
Good night.
Bye for now.